Hello Steelers, and welcome to this very special video game of Through the Mud and the Blood. And in this one I'm not playing it solo for once. I've actually got James Wilkinson and Dean, my pal Dean Smells, coming over, and they are going to play the attack on a village, or a platoon clearing a village scenario from the Stout Hearts Iron Troopers booklet. And I think this is scenario 3, platoon clearing a village, and it's quite a basic setup. James has never played Through the Mud and the Blood before, Dean has, so for that reason I'm giving James the attacking British, and I'm going to umpire, and Dean is going to be the defending Germans. It's quite a simple one. The British basically have to move through and just empty the village of the German defenders. The Germans just have to stop them. But it's the reason I'm giving James the British is simply because it gives him a little bit more choice as to movement and fire and things, and probably shows him a little bit how to play the game as well, and what there is. So I'll be offering some sage advice from the sidelines, I'm fairly sure. But Dean has also played Mud and Blood quite a lot anyway, so he knows the rules and he knows how to play the game. This is a setup. It's only on a small 3x4 table, so you don't have to play huge games of Mud and the Blood if you don't want to. It's a platoon versus a depleted German platoon. I'll show you the forces in a second. I'll show you the table that they're going to be fighting over, and then when the guys arrive, I will what I'm going to do is I'm going to film it basically the end of each turn, just have a bit of a catch up, see where we're at and what's going on. So you might not see some of the highlights of the action, but you'll certainly see how things go in the game, and hopefully this will be an interesting video for you as well. And hopefully as well, also, I'm pushing the whole idea that First World War wargaming is interesting. It can be interesting, and it doesn't have to be a boring slogfest in the trenches. This is something completely different. I have done this previously as a solo game. You can check that out in the Through the Mud and the Blood playlist. I'll probably also put a link to it either in the description or at least on the screen at the moment. But this is going to be interesting because, as I say, it's going to be against two different people with an umpire, as Through the Mud and the Blood should really be played, I guess. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll show you the table, I'll show you the forces, and then we'll crack on with the game. So here's the table. We start in the British side. Basically they start on this edge of the table leading up into the village itself. You can see the village is just a straight line with another line coming off. They're coming basically up the road. A few damaged buildings here and there, some fences and bits and pieces. I wanted to use my newly made sugar beet factory as well, so I put that at the back end of the village. I just wanted to get that on the table. The Germans are currently burning documents before the British arrive, before they retreat to the Hindenburg line. But the British have caught them with their pants down basically, so they're defending. They're going to be holding this area, and the British are attacking. Over here is the two forces. So the British, we've got a very typical 1917 force for the British here. So this is led by a lieutenant and a sergeant as their HQ. They've also got a couple of scouts or runners as well attached to that. Then we've got 4 sections. Each one is made up of a corporal plus 8 men, and these are all different. The first one being the rifle section. Then we have the bomber section, which is 6 bombers and 2 rifles. Then we also have the rifle grenadier section, which is basically 4 teams of rifle grenadiers. And then we also have the Lewis gun section, which is a 2-man Lewis team with 6 rifles as well. So this is SS143 played out on a tabletop, and hopefully James has been mugging up on his First World War tactical doctrine. The Germans, on the other hand, they have a bit of a mixed force. They're under a lieutenant. They have a couple of sentries who are going to be on the table, and a sniper. These, although they're in Scouts Runners area, these are actually a couple of adjutants who are just burning papers and have no military worth whatsoever. Then we also have 3 groups. These first 2 have 6 riflemen and then 2 bombers in them, so that's this one and this one, and these are both led by a Gearfighter. Then we have another group here which is led by another Gearfighter. This is 8 riflemen, but 2 of these are called trench cleaners, so these will get an advantage in any close combat that they're in. So that's the German defence. So it's going to be probably quite tough for the British. You know, it's only 4 sections against 3 sections, so it's not a 3-to-1 numerical advantage. But we'll see how they go, and if they use their tactics correctly, I think they should be able to clear this village for the advance to continue. Okay, Steelers, we are about to start the game here. So I've got on my left, we've got James. Very tall James there, and then on my right we've got Dean over there.
Very short Dean.
Very short Dean. Got Dean is playing the Germans in this game. The Germans defending. James, you're playing the British over here. And it's your first game of Through the Mud and the Blood, isn't it, James?
Yeah, it is.
You're looking forward to it?
Yes, I'll try not to get all my men killed.
I'm sure you won't, don't worry. You'll have my help at least. So basically the idea is for James is have to clear this village. This is scenario 3 in the Stout Hearts Iron Troopers supplements. So I've just set up the table like this. You can see, Dean, you've already set out your blinds, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done the usual. Well, I've actually done the unusual thing for me. I'm doing something conventional. A forward unit, 2 supports, and a back unit.
Right. Okay. But obviously we don't know what they are.
No, we don't know.
You know what they are, but whereas the British are advancing in artillery formation.
As far as I can remember it, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty close. That's pretty close. And again, you've got 5 units there, James. So I'll not ask you which ones are which just yet, because we want to keep that quiet. What we'll do is we'll crack on with the first few moves and see what happens, and we'll come back and have some highlights. Okay, at first, time for a snifter there. What's happened here, James? Tell us all about it.
So, canteens have been clanging too loudly, and quite a lot of the army's been spotted.
They have, haven't they?
Moving forward.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rifle sections managed to get over to the tree line.
That's right, yeah. That was an up and at 'em, wasn't it? That was their bonus move.
It was.
Yeah.
And a plucky sniper.
Yeah, that little swine, yeah. Where is he? Ooh, we don't know.
Clicked one of my men already.
He has, yeah. It's the Rifle Grenadiers. They were spotted, weren't they?
Yeah.
By your
sentries.
Your sentries, weren't they, Dean, over
Doing
here?
the job.
So, nothing else has been revealed, but yeah, at least you're making some moves. I mean, to be fair, the Rifle Grenadiers are in a pretty good position anyway, because they need to be at the back as a supporting unit. Yeah, it's still unfortunate that you got clipped by that sniper.
It could have been worse.
It could have been worse. It could have been a corporal.
Nearly his corporal.
It nearly was. Right, so we're back. We've had a couple of turns actually, haven't we? Because yes. I think we went through the snifter a couple of times. What has happened over here, James, if you can remember it?
General advance, really.
It is, isn't it?
Officers moved up and told everyone to get moving.
That's right. It's kicked them off their arse.
Done some spotting.
Yeah.
And taken some pot shots at the Germans we found buried in the village somewhere.
That's right. So your spotting revealed this guy over here, didn't it, Dean? Yeah. Who's this?
That's like an assault group. This is the trench clearers. The sniper went home as well because he only brought 1 bullet.
He did, didn't he? Yeah.
He shot 1 person and then went.
Yeah, he rolled a double and then so he was off.
Yeah. It's trench clearing around here.
That's right.
We're just starting to develop the battle there.
So what James is trying to do at the moment, under instruction, is try to get as many of these German blinds off the table, because if they're off the table, if the blinds are on the table, they can't be fired at. If the troops are on the table, they can be fired at. Yeah. So actually, I just realised, James, there is something you can fire at with your Rifle Grenadiers. You can actually fire at them because they're in line of sight of one of your other units, and you can use your Rifle Grenadiers to fire at them.
Oh, we'll do that then.
Yeah,
let's do that. Yeah, because the snifter, all they can do is fire. But because it's your first target, they fire half the dice. They are Rifle Grenadiers, so they fire 1 dice per team, and you've got one dice per man, because it's 2 teams of Rifle Grenadiers. It's 4 teams of Rifle Grenadiers, but they fire per man. So basically, it's 1 dice per man. So it's going to be 8 dice in total. However, you are halving it because they are Rifle Grenadiers and they are firing at effective range.
Yep.
Hitting on a 4-up.
Okay.
They don't need line of sight. I did forget about that.
Yeah.
So let's see what we get. 4-up. You're going to get some.
3 hits.
3 hits. Because this is a ranging shot, it's the first shot at that target if you fired more. So, Dean, you reduce cover now because you're getting hit with Rifle Grenadiers. So these are now in the open. So, can't remember what it is, Dean, just have a look.
5-6 kill, 2 up, 2 rest.
2 above, 2 to 4
shock.
And then 5-6 kill. So
I tried to say that in a lot easier manner.
Yeah, you could have done. Sorry, I jumped it on you. So, how many? 3 hits. So shock. 3 shock on the 1 shock they've already got. So you've not killed anyone there, but you have you're going to make them stumble a bit more.
Keeping the pressure on.
Absolutely.
Bursting around them is not let them keep ready now.
Absolutely. Right, another snifter, and James is shoveling biscuits down his gob like they're going out of fashion. But what have we done so far, chaps? We've had a bit of argy-bargy, haven't we? Dean, you can explain this one, I think.
Yeah, I'm getting blown to high heaven. That assault group has done nothing. And so what I've basically done, not to give it game away, because it's obvious, pull back.
Yeah, you're falling back, aren't you, a little bit there?
Come and dig me out.
Well, we're just trying to
I think
focus.
you will.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah. You may as well, defence in depth.
Yeah.
Let him come to you, I think, into the teeth. But yes, your unit has been pushed back, hasn't it, from shock and kills, whilst James, you've only lost a couple of casualties at this point, so you're doing pretty well, I think, right now.
Yep.
What I would have said is, at this point, if you'd have got your Lewis gun set up here,
it's not done much yet.
you could have quite easily be cutting these guys down as they're trying to run off.
Yeah. Watch this space. Though.
Yes, but watch this space, yes, that's going to happen next.
It's we're okay. It's not the end of the.
You're defending, aren't you?
Yeah, it's not the end of the war, but
you've still got 2 full sections left.
Yeah.
They're going to have to come and cut me out now, which they probably will, but it looks right.
Yeah, but James, you're also getting chipped away, but you have got your rifle grenadiers in a good position now to fire away at stuff.
Yeah.
So I think, well, all to play for. All right, here we are again at the end of another turn, another exciting turn of Through the Mud and the Blood. Right, so who wants to tell me what's happened?
I'm falling back.
Yeah, you are, aren't you?
Yeah.
You deployed off your blinds, didn't you? You deployed into this little garden here with these guys.
It's just the dice and the way things have fallen, just not fallen well for me. I'm trying to hold a line here, and that side's getting battered.
It is, isn't it? These are down by these trees here.
So I need either a change of look, because there's no strategy there, or I just need some good cards coming up. But it's going to be a lot of luck.
Yeah, you kind of need to be falling back, don't you, and drawing them in a little bit. But
even the falling back, like I said, I didn't know the British had a surge, a swarm technique.
They do, don't they?
Here.
Well, you're playing it to how it should be played, absolutely, here, I think, at this point, aren't you, James?
Yeah.
I don't know what you think of it so far. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, just keep falling back, keep chasing them.
Yeah, that's it.
Got bayonets fixed and we intend to use them. So,
but I think you're in a great position. You've got your rifle grenadiers over here supporting.
Yeah, they're lobbing shells.
Lobbing shit down. You've got your bombers. Your bombers have taken quite a bit of hit and they've taken quite a bit of shock as well. But you can recover from that.
Yeah.
And then you've pushed up your riflemen here to cover this area.
I don't need shock. I don't need kills. I can take shock. I'm getting kills though.
That's the problem, isn't it?
That's not what I want.
Yeah. And then the other thing
Lewis
is,
section's moved up and now has split the village in 2.
That's right. You're literally commanding that central line, aren't you?
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So if Dean does move between the 2 areas, you can shoot him down as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah, still all to play for. I think the Germans are still in a pretty strong position. You've lost a third of your men, but that's 2 sections still strongly there. But we'll see what happens in the next couple of turns.
That's called wildly optimistic.
All right, so we're back onto another quick turn. That turned over pretty quick, didn't it? Actually, I think James, only your rifle grenadiers.
Yeah, they
activated.
just lobbed some grenades over into the bushes,
which is once again killing stuff.
And he did, didn't it? Yeah. Poor old Fassbender.
Yeah.
Michael. Michael Fassbender. He took some hits over here, and they are now in retreat from their good position that they were in. So yeah, your flank is slightly crumbling a bit. Yeah. But that said, you are still commanding the centre of this high street, aren't you?
Yeah, we want one. Yeah, one squad does not a command make.
No, that's a fair point. But you still got to clear it out, James.
Yeah, exactly. Still got to come and get them.
And to be fair, James, you haven't actually got further than this first building yet.
No.
So you are holding him up. If this was a holding game and there was a countdown timer, I think you'd probably want to get a riddle on, James. But that's.
I think even if it was an holding game, they normally play to about 12 turns. We're only on 5, really.
Well, that's true. Yes, we're
not really at the halfway point.
No, I would say so. Yeah, he is taking. But speaking as his captain, I am breathing down his neck and saying, "Why the fuck you up that?"
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, there goes my monetization from swearing.
Beeping that out.
But we'll see what happens in the next turn. Anyway, that's for another day. And back in the back at the mud and the blood, and it is very mud and blood, isn't it, at the moment? So there's not been a great deal happening this turn, has there? Just a little bit. It's been a lot of recovery of shock, hasn't it?
Yeah, a bit of
more than anything else.
Fire backwards and forwards.
Yeah, across the street, really.
Trading shots, putting shock on where we can in preparation for the assault.
That's it. It was these lads here, the rifles, firing at the German rifles over there. And you're both about the same, aren't you? You lost about the same amount of men and about the same amount of shock at the moment.
Yeah.
The only other thing was Fassbender and his guys. You've been reducing their shock on
the because it was overwhelming.
That's right. And then the lieutenants over here reduced the shock on the bombers as well.
Bombers are good to go.
They are, yeah. So they've lost a few men, but they're still, I think, over the odds when they come to the bombing attack. So yeah, you haven't moved up any further yet, James.
No.
But I think in the next turn or two, there's going to.
They're looking, peering around the corners of the houses.
That's right.
Looking where they can dash to now.
Exactly. I think we're going to see a bit of a British dash up this road. I think.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. If the cards come right.
Done down in the main road.
All right. Just to say quickly, the bombers have moved up in a new turn, and we're just going to film this because this is the closest assault. Bombers are coming in against Fassbinder, isn't it, Deal?
Yeah.
Deal. Yeah. We don't know where to go. Right. So, you're going to be gathering up dice between you, a pair of you. And the way we do this is we take 1 dice for each man who isn't a big man. So the bombers have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I've got 4.
Germans have got 4. So that's what you're starting with. Then you add 1d6 for each 2-point status level of each big man, rounded down. You both only have a status 1 big man, so it's not even an extra dice because you round it down. You need 2. For 2 per dice of enemy's movement this turn, you get an extra 2 dice per dice. You moved.
8.
You didn't, so that's you moved with 2 dice, so it's 4 dice for you, Dean. So that's basically you shooting as he's coming in. That's always a tricky part with it because that's the bit where
it's a long way away.
Yeah, it suddenly becomes a lot more.
Time to shoot.
Per 2 shock points on the group. There's only Germans have got the group, so you take 1 dice off for those. Aggressive troops. The bombers are aggressive because they're bombers. They're trained as that. So you get a half dice for each of the men. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 7 in total, but you round down, so 3 more dice. Also, bombers also get plus half a dice each. So that's another 3 dice on top. So bombers are pretty good, you see. Are these your trench clearers?
No.
Are these your bombers?
Yes.
So you've got 1 bomber left actually in there.
Yeah.
That guy, so he gets an extra half dice to chuck him in because you should have 2 men in there, so that's an extra dice for you. Then we haven't got any trench brooms, which are machine guns. They're dead. You're not defending light cover or any cover. You're not hitting the rear. And that's it. The rest is all cavalry stuff. So count up your dice, lads. Tell us how many you've got for both of you. I bet this is going to be relatively equal, to be honest. What have you got, James?
It's the defensive.
Yeah, it's always
12 for me.
12.
8.
Yep.
12 against 8. Right. Roll your dice. Get out all your 5s and 6s because they're all kills. And if you get a 6, you also cause shock. So let's see what we're getting here. Just pull them all out. What you got so far, James?
5
God!
6s.
I've just seen how many Dean's got.
1.
That's not great. Right, so James, you've caught 4 kills.
Excellent.
Dean's caused 1 kill. So that's I'll just knock these down so we remember them because we've got to roll to see if they're the big men. And 4 kills on the Germans. Plus, because you got 2 6s, that causes 2 shock as well on the Germans. So that takes them up to 4. Right, so now we need to see if it's the big men that have been hit.
So 4 kills.
So, James, both of you rolled a d10. 4 or less for you, Dean. And a 1 or less for you. So a 2, it's not your big man. 3, yes, your big man. So you've got 1 fella left. Your big man's down. We've got to see what happens to him. So this is where it got confusing. That's your kill, James. So he's off 1. So we'll take off 3 of your dead here, Dean. Then this big man. Roll a d6 to see what happens to him. Don't get a 6. Oh, falls on the floor.
4.
A 4 is he is lightly wounded, so he reduces his initiatives by 1. He's only got 1 initiative, so if he takes another hit, another wound, he's killed anyway. So he basically can't activate. But you've also got 2 men and 2 shock more, so you're falling back 4 inches. Plus you've also lost that by, I think it's by 3.
Yeah.
So I think you fall back about another 9 inches. Let me just double checking that rules.
That'll do me.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good assault there. Let's have a look. I'm going to find it. Talk amongst yourselves. How do you think that went for you, Dean?
I got spectacularly well.
You were defeated by.
I could be home for 4.
You were defeated by 3, so you're thrown back 12 inch, facing the enemy. Had a further 2 shock per group, and you can only fire in your turn. So that is them gone.
I'll be the
so
same.
that is literally what you use bombers for.
Excellent.
Cracking work there, James. Good stuff.
Please.
Yes. Okay, so what's happened, Dean? Tell us all about it.
I've quit. That's it. No longer combat effective. All I can do is reduce shot. Got some nice lucky shots over there, but even with all hits, it didn't really do anything.
Yeah, you were.
So it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, you were trying to reduce your shock, which was piling up, wasn't it? From
when
rifle grenades and from rifle fire.
Even if you took your time, rifle grenadiers, then the Lewis gun moves into a better position. Then I get assaulted. Then I get shot. It's too much.
It is. And James, what did you think about that?
Very good. Yeah. I like
of course,
bombers.
you thought that.
Charging in with the bombers the last minute, pretty much cracked this right flank open.
That was it, wasn't it? Yeah, that destroyed.
And from there, it was.
Yeah, it was
just
inevitable.
a mopping up exercise. Really,
pretty much inevitable, wasn't it, at this point? So yeah, it was time to.
Pretty early on collapse there.
It was, wasn't it? But how did both of your plans go? What would you change? What would you do again if you're doing this?
British plan went well, I think.
I think it did.
Could have got them moving a bit sooner, maybe. But at the end of the day, desired result.
Yeah, I think my one criticism of your plan, James, just to say it, is just that first time your lieutenant came out right at the very start, I would have got everybody as far forward as possible.
He did a concentrated attack on a defence, which is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
A nice concentrated attack.
It still works.
I split my defence, which I normally don't do.
Yeah.
But I did because I'm on blinds, because you've got to see something. So it crumbled and shattered. That's it, gone.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of sweeping people through then, isn't it?
That was the issue.
Yeah.
But
plus you got bloody rifle grenadiers. I had a crappy sniper.
I wasn't expecting how good they'd be.
Yes.
But yeah, very effective.
They are. They're good because they don't need line of sight.
Yeah.
And they can hit anything on the board pretty much.
10-man mortar, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And all you're doing is chipping away at them.
Yeah.
When my sniper went, that's the slight advantage I had. He did 1 kill and that was it.
Yeah, that was surprising that he disappeared so quick, but it's just that double, wasn't it?
I mean, as on a concentrated attack, all you can do is a concentrated defence, but I didn't have opportunity to do it. It fell back pretty fast.
I think the sniper won, to be fair. He's off. He's not got caught up in all this.
That's true, yeah.
He's off, he's back in having a brew in the Trent.
Most likely, yeah, in safety. Well, have you enjoyed your first game of Mud and Blood?
Very much so,
yeah. It's a great game, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot to think about it, and it's very different to a lot of other games, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly is.
I'm sure you'll find. Did you enjoy it, Dean?
I did indeed, yes.
Well, I enjoyed playing it for you both. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, a bit different. I'm sure we'll do some more of these kind of videos in the future. Keep watching the channel, and thanks a million, Steelers. I'll see you in the next Storm of Steel video.